Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our webinar. It's, I think, fifth webinar in series of NCP for Industry webinars for stakeholders. And this one will deal with the new partnership on textiles for the future. Welcome our panelists who are Mrs. Cornelia Mochor from European Commission, Mr. Lutz Walter, who is the chair of European Technological Partnership for Future Textiles and Clothing. We have also two stakeholders who will present their potential contribution to the partnership. Professor Katarzyna Grabowska from Łódź University of Technology, and Mr. Bras Costa, who is from the stakeholders organization from Portugal. Don't ask me to pronounce exactly the name of the organization. I'm very sorry. Okay, but we will start. Cannot see. Okay, but let me show you what we'll deal with. So this is the agenda. We'll start just now with the presentation of our coordinator, Mr. Diego Coglitore, who introduced you to our activities as a project. Next, we'll have the presentation of Mrs. Mochor and Mr. Lutz Walter, followed by presentations by the stakeholders of the members of the textile community. And be aware that the presentation will be recorded, so the webinar will be recorded and will be published at the YouTube channel of our project, NCP for Industry Network. So easily you can watch this webinar entering our NCP for Industry webpage and next shifting to the YouTube channel. And what can I say more as concerns organization? Only speakers are allowed to speak, and you can see us, but you can interact with presenters using question and answer facility. This is an icon at the bottom bar of the application with the interrogation chart, so you can click it, you can write your question, and afterwards, after the presentations, we will pass to question and answer session. We will read your questions and our panelists will answer them. What is important, if you would like to address your question directly to particular speaker, please indicate it in the question. Otherwise, we can say the answer will be will be given by a person who will feel most competent in that. So thank you very much, and Diego, floor is yours, please.
Thank you very much, Jaroslav. Just 1 second, I will share my screen and presentation. Can you just give me a feedback if you are able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you very much. So this event, as Jaroslav was already saying, is organized by our project, that is NCP for Industry. NCP for Industry is a CSA, a coordination support action funded by the European Commission. And the main aim is to put together all the NCPs across Europe so that we can improve our communication in our community, but also organize activities for the stakeholders, like this webinar. So, as you know, cluster 4 is a quite complex cluster in Horizon Europe in Pillar 2, and it deals with three main areas that are the digital, the industry, and the space. And for each area, we have a CSA, a coordination and support action, that put together all the thematics NCPs. So for the digital part, there is Idealist. For the industrial part, there is, as just mentioned, NCP for industry, and for the space part, Cosmos for Horizon Europe. So we often try to work together, even if the areas are not always complementary. But it's one of our aim objective is to find synergies among these areas in terms of topics, in terms of technologies, etc. So what about NCP for industry? So we are a 3-year project and we are almost ending. We have just been extended until the end of August. So, but the good news is that we will continue our work from the 1st of September with the new project, which has a very similar name, so that you can easily find it in the future. It will be named NCP for Industry Plus. So it's a continuation, a proper continuation of this one. And we will try again, as we did in these 3 years, to organize events with partnership to inform proposers, applicants about the new opportunities and the new what is going on under Pillar 2 in Horizon Europe. So our main objectives as a European project are for sure to establish like a good level of networking among the NCPs, so that we can better inform the applicants about what is around Horizon Europe. Of course, the promotion of the cluster for industry opportunities among the research communities, and also to stimulate knowledge transfer and cross-fertilization among different stakeholders, and also among the national and international institutions. We have 4 kind of target groups it's a natural thing that, let's say, the main target, the first target, not the main target, is our community, so the national contact points, so that we can communicate among us what we know about the novelty of the framework program. But also, let's say, second are for sure the stakeholders that are around Horizon Europe. So we can talk about the new partnership, as we are doing today, but also applicants, proposers that want to, or newcomers that for the first time want to approach Horizon Europe. And we don't have to forget the European Commission, because, let's say, our communication with the European Commission is almost on a daily basis, to give feedback about what we are doing, what we are organizing around the framework program. We do different things for our communities, not only the national contact point, of course, but mainly the applicants and the research innovation communities. So we organize training, webinars, materials that you can consult. There is a section on our website that is called the Tooldoc Box, where you can find like informative material about, let's say the basis of Horizon Europe, but also more, let's say, detailed aspects that fall under the industrial scope of Cluster 4. Among the things we do, there are matchmaking events that you can benefit. I will in the next slides, I will show you the next matchmakings we are organizing. As you know, the Cluster 4 topic calls are opening. Info Days will be the European Info Days organized by the Commission, will be on the 13th about on cluster 4, will be on the 13th and the 14th of May. We are organizing a dedicated matchmaking also for this event. We do, as we are doing now, webinars, but also from the webinars we do short videos, like 3, 4, 5 minutes to inform the community about some interesting topic in cluster 4. And usually you can find us also in important events, like of course in the industrial context, like will be in Tech 2025 in Krakow, where we are organizing an on-site matchmaking that I'm going to talk about it like in few minutes. What we do also for applicants, one tool we developed during these 3 years is the full proposal check. So when you have an advanced draft of your proposal, we offer this service that the proposal will be evaluated by first NCPs that will look, let's say, more to the horizontal aspects, and then by Horizon Europe experts. This is before the deadlines. So let's say it's a way to improve your proposal. This service is completely free. The only thing is that we have limited places, so you have to apply for this service, which let's say in the past month, in the past years, the applicants found it really useful, and some of the proposal at the end were awarded. Because it's a nice thing to be evaluated before the deadline, before submission by Horizon Europe evaluator. So and then we do as trainings, webinars, as I said, we help you in partner search as well. So don't forget to contact us when you need it. Next activities we are going to do for Horizon Europe proposers. The first one will be on the 20th of May. It will be an on-site matchmaking. It's organized mainly by the French and German NCPs. We are going to be there as NCP for industry to help applicants to understand a little bit better the new topic in the work program 2025. So you will find us in Strasbourg. In our website, you can find also more information and links on the B2Match and the information about the location. Next, as I said before, on the 13th and 14th of May, there will be the Horizon Europe Info Days about Cluster 4. And in this context, NCP for Industry is organizing an online brokerage event. The platform is almost ready, so you will find in the next weeks link news in our website, and not only in our website, and so that you can register on this matchmaking opportunity soon. Last but not least, it's the last one just in order of time. We are one, let's say, of the sponsor of this conference that is mainly organized by the European Commission, that is EU in Tech 2025. It will be held in Krakow, Poland, from the 2nd to the 4th of June. And on the 3rd of June, NCP for Industry is organizing an on-site matchmaking on the industrial topic, so Destination 1 and 2. And you will find us there. Also for InTech and for this matchmaking, we are using B2Match as well, so you can register before, like we are opening the platform in the next days. And really, we hope to see you in one of these matchmaking events in the next months. Find us, please. If you want more information, if you want to get a bit more familiar about what we do and what we are, you can find more news materials and events on our website, but also on LinkedIn, Twitter, X, now we call it X, and as Yaroslav was saying before, on our YouTube channel where we upload, let's say, the videos from our events and the other material. Thank you for your attention, and I pass the floor to Yaroslav and Pedro again.
Okay, thank you, Diego, for this really extended presentation. And Diego, please, Pedro, please display the presentation of Cornelia, who will talk about policy objectives and context of the partnership. So, Cornelia,
I will
the
share.
The floor is yours.
I will share another presentation. It seems that slides were not sharing, but we will share all these presentations. So don't worry. It seems that in the Q&A we have people saying that the slides were frozen, but we will share all of this presentation. And sorry about that. So I will just share the presentation.
Yes, and I will say good morning to all, and thank you very much for the invitation. So my name is Cornelia Mohor, and I work in Director General Industry in the European Commission in the textiles team. So we have a Textiles of the Future partnership under Horizon Europe for the second strategic planning. Next slide, if you like. So the growing impact of textiles on the environment has triggered in recent years pressing action, a need for action at EU level, and also has created an important political momentum. So around this idea, we put forward a proposal for a co-program European partnership under Horizon Europe. We have textiles at the fourth highest pressure category for primary raw materials and water, and fifth for greenhouse gas emissions after food, housing, and mobility. We have textile production, which has doubled between 2000 and 2015 at global level. We have almost 9 out of 10 Europeans that think that clothing should be made to last longer. And only around 1% of materials used to produce clothing is recycled into new clothing globally. In addition to put the Commission put forward some actions under the EU Strategy for Sustainable and Circular Textiles, which has been adopted in March 2020. The strategy sets the Commission vision to 2030, by when all textile products placed on the EU market should be durable, repairable, and recyclable, and to a great extent made of recycled fibers, free of hazardous substances. And the use and repair services should be made widely available. The strategy also pointed out to a real need to shift from fast fashion to circularity. So therefore, the circularity to become really the norm. Some of these legislative actions put forward by the EU strategy have been adopted. Some are under preparation still. We have also a package of non-regulatory actions. I will maybe refer to one of the legislative actions, and that is the recently adopted Eco-Design for Sustainable Products Regulation in July last year. Eco-design requirements are to be set for textiles following the adoption of the SPR. To set product level performance requirements in relation to circularity and overall aiming for a reduction of environmental and climate impact of textiles. We had also so-called EU transition pathway for the textile ecosystem, which was published last year, and it was done together with the sector, with the industry, through various consultations that took place around important topics, around 8 building blocks of this transition pathway. One of them being EU funding. And here, under this building block, stakeholders really pointed out to the need to streamline funding under Horizon Europe in terms of textiles, and call for a dedicated support scheme on research and innovation for the sector. As you may be aware, majority of companies in the sector are small and medium size enterprises. Therefore, the aim of a co-program European partnership was to promote industrial engagement in research and innovation, to give the possibility to design funding priorities under Horizon Europe together with the industry. We have advanced throughout last year. So since the Commission put forward a proposal for a partnership under the strategic institutional plan of 2025-2027, we have been working together with the industry to build the private side of this partnership. We have the European technology platform for the future of textiles and clothing, representing the private side of the partnership. And the recent step was the adoption of the Memorandum of Understanding by the Commission on the 19th of March for the partnership on textiles, together with other two Memorandum of Understanding for additional two European co-program partnerships under Horizon Europe. And the Memorandum of Understanding for the textile partnership is currently under signature as such, signed by the Commission, and currently to be very recently to be signed as well by the private side. These are, as you can see, there are three main strategic objectives of the partnership, namely to strengthen the resilience and the sustainable competitiveness of the industry, to support the digital and technological transformation of the industry, and also to enhance the sector's quality and heritage, know-how, and creativity, which is very European, very important dimension of the European industry. Innovation of the companies in the ecosystem is very important, is key to successfully realize and twin transition, and particularly important is the promotion of research and development into innovative technologies for circularity, digital innovation, and also circular business models. And this is what at strategic level the partnership would like to achieve. Next slide, please. So we have the first ever dedicated partnership on Horizon Europe, part of Horizon Europe on textiles. I mentioned the Textiles ETP as the lead organization representing the private sector, with a total budget of 60 million, 30 million from Horizon Europe, and additional investments as matching the Horizon Europe part. Yes?
Excuse me, because I have some communication that the slides are frozen. I'm not sure if it works well.
I think it's working here as well.
I see the slide, the correct slide now. From my side, I see the correct slide.
Can you write me on dear participants, can you write on chat if it's okay with slides?
Please, I received some messages that it's okay.
Slides are okay. Please go on.
Yeah.
So 30 million from Horizon Europe, and matching the same amount with additional investments from the private side as all co-program partnerships under Horizon Europe. The partnership has been placed under Cluster 4, Digital Industry and Space of Horizon Europe. Implementation is done normally as for all co-program partnerships to Horizon Europe work programs, and call for proposals to be launched from this year 2025 until 2027, which is the end period of this of the current EU financial programming period. And we have the partners, the Textiles ETP and their members who worked on a strategy research and innovation agenda that will be used as input for the call topics to be launched. And you will have the Secretary General Lutz Walter from the European Technology Platform for the Future of Textiles and closing intervening later on today to explain you more about the agenda and the priorities, funding priorities as they are seen by the sector. Next slide, please. So as I said, placed under cluster for Horizon Europe in the same group with important partnerships such as Made in Europe, Process for Planet, Clean Steel, with the expecting impact to contribute to achieving global leadership in climate neutral, circular and digitalized industrial and digital value chains. With four main intervention areas to be covered: manufacturing technologies, advanced textile, circular industry, and net zero and less polluting industries. Next slide, please. So as I said, I mentioned the strategy research and innovation agenda, which builds around three main innovation themes: sustainable materials and clean processes, digital supply chains and circular business models, advanced manufacturing and high-performance textiles. And around these topics, we will build the funding priorities that you will see in the calls topics to be launched under the partnership. Thank you very much. We designed my presentation.
Thank you very much, Cornelia, for this nice presentation. Just now, because we are a little bit delayed, let's switch to the presentation of Lutz. Lutz, please, the floor is yours.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Very pleased to be here and speak in front of a very large audience. I see a few of very familiar names to me in the audience too, but I think also a lot of people who have not yet seen me present and speak about the partnership and also the organization I represent. So very happy to be here. And then I'll see if I can recover a little bit of lost ground time-wise. So because Cornelia has indeed already presented the basics of the partnership, so I can run relatively quickly through my first slide. So here I just want to stress that indeed the partnership is the first ever really dedicated EU funding program for textiles. It doesn't mean that textile research was not funded under Horizon Europe or preceding framework program at all. As a sector, we had in the past some success in the framework programs, but especially since the adoption of the EU textile strategy almost 3 years ago, funding under Horizon Europe has increased quite significantly, especially in the areas of circularity and also new sustainable materials and bio-based solutions. But we're very glad that this dedicated program is now in place. And I will explain to you a little bit what our thinking behind the use of this dedicated budget is, what we identified as the key priorities in our strategic research and innovation agenda, and how we plan to implement the partnership. First, a quick word about the organization that will represent the private sector in the partnership and the organization that I represent. The European Textile Technology Platform for the Future of Textiles and Clothing, which is the full name of the organization, is not a new organization at all. It was launched basically 20 years ago during the first wave of European technology platforms. It then became an independent non-profit organization about 12 years ago. And it was founded by, whereas it has 4 sort of full and founder members that represent basically the broad stakeholder community, which is the industry on the one side that is represented by the European Textile and Apparel Industry Confederation, Eurotex. Then we have the applied textile research organizations in Europe that are represented on the European level by an organization called Textranet, and Bras Costa, who's going to speak a little later, is the president of that organization. So those applied research centers are extremely crucial for an industry that is very much SME based and relies a lot for their research and innovation activities on collaboration with external research partners. Then we also represent the textile innovation clusters. As you may know, the textile industry in Europe is somewhat unevenly distributed over the European territory. So it is strongly represented in industrial clusters, so in regional agglomerations of companies, and that create sort of regional value chains that we can find across many EU countries. And there is a European organization that represents those textile innovation clusters that is a member of ours. And then also, of course, the universities play an important role on the more sort of fundamental part of the more basic research side of the industry, but also in the higher education, so providing the bright minds of the future for this industry. So, and we have an organization called NETFAS, the Network of European Textile and Fashion Universities of Applied Sciences, that is a full member of ours. And then we have a good number of associate members. So in total, we connect well over 1,500 experts related to the textile and clothing sector across Europe. And we have been doing that for, as I said, more than 20 years. So a very established organization. So now switching over to the actual partnership. So due to the fact that the Textile ETP as an organization has been in existence and has actually a habit of publishing strategic research and innovation agendas already in the past, so we could very quickly activate our community to put this fairly complex document together in a relatively record time. And it was published and presented in July of last year. So you can find it online. You can scan the code if you want. It takes you directly to the page where you can download the agenda. So what we wanted to do is what we started really is to formulate a vision of innovation that matches to some extent the vision that was put by the European Commission into the EU strategy for circular and sustainable textiles. So what we want to achieve, or what we want this partnership to contribute, is the development and the demonstration of new technologies and also innovative business models for competitive manufacturing of safe and sustainable textile products and some related services that are made from low impact functional materials, that are made by clean and digitally connected processes in regional, circular, and fully traceable supply chains that will in the end maintain or create quality jobs, industrial competitiveness, and responsible consumption in Europe. So it's very important for us that we see this sustainability drive in the textile sector not just as a pure sort of sustainability initiative in saying, well, let's clean up whatever impacts the consumption of textiles has, but also make sure that at the same time we improve, we sustain the competitiveness of this industry in Europe, which is still very much present, and that is often underestimated by people who are not very familiar with it. It is an industry that is obviously has been significantly transformed over the years. It's not an industry that is very active in mass production of low added value products, but it's an industry that has branched out in many different niches, very special types of products and production processes, not only in clothing and fashion, but also in home and interior textiles, and also specifically in technical textiles, which are all sorts of textile materials and products that are used across a very broad domain of applications, from sectors such as construction, automotive, but also the medical sector, for instance, all the way to sort of renewable energy, agriculture, even aerospace and so on, defense and personal protection being also an important market. So there is a very diversified textile and apparel industry in Europe that we want to sustain and want to support with this vision and with these activities that relate to the materials, to the production process, to the adoption of digital technologies, and with it the adoption of innovative business models, so that we can continue to competitively manufacture textile products here in Europe in as much as possible regional and circular supply chains, with all sorts of the benefits, both in terms of sustainable consumption and industrial competitiveness in Europe. So then we broke that down into three priority innovation areas that Cornelia already mentioned briefly. And for each of those priority innovation areas, we formulated a number of strategic research topics. So you see that we focus on the one side on the sustainable materials and the clean processes. You may not know that the textile or the materials that we use in this industry currently are about 2/3 or sourced from fossil resources, mainly oil, that we then turn into synthetic fibers that are used, of course, also increasingly in the clothing industry, but especially in the technical textile industry, which is almost exclusively based on synthetic fibers. And then we have to make sure that over time we transition this industry to more use of what we call renewable fibers, which could be either bio-based, which are obviously naturally renewable, but which can also be recycled. So they are, let's say, technically renewable. And as Cornelia also mentioned in her intro, currently textile to textile recycling is not a reality in the industry. It's something that is fairly complicated because of the blends of materials, because of the combination of the materials with chemicals, and because of also the high requirements of functionality and property, let's say, of the raw materials that are needed in this industry. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done on recycling, but also devising better processes to turn those fibers into end products. Because along this complex processing chain of textiles, we use a lot of energy, we use a lot of chemistry, we use a lot of water. All of that creates impact. And we want to come to processes that have lower impact and materials that have lower impact, but that give us, very importantly, the same functionality that the end users of textile products are expecting. So we cannot compromise the quality of the product simply for the sustainability, because we know that, for instance, when we talk about recycled materials, if the durability of a textile product made of recycled materials is not comparable to the durability of a textile product from virgin materials, then we have nothing. We have gained nothing, because users then discard those products faster, which then creates additional impact. So we have to produce faster again, and that doesn't help anybody. So it's really a complex challenge that we overcome. It's an area that we will not focus very much under our partnership, because as you can imagine, materials and processes and circularity is very much focus of the cluster 6. Our partnership is under cluster 4. So we will deal to some extent with this aspect, but not, let's say, as main focus. What we will focus more on is our priority areas 2 and 3. because they're clearly within the scope of Cluster 4. So digitalization, digital supply chains, circular business models, and especially also priority area 3, advanced manufacturing, and also high-performance textiles. And I saw there was a question already in the chat asking, well, are also technical textiles covered? Yes, technical textiles will be covered to some extent by this partnership. But we will focus on textile-based products, so we will not focus on products such as composites. So there is a line that we draw. Will we fund research on glass fiber for composites used in renewable energy? No, we will not do that, but we will definitely fund potentially research on advanced manufacturing of high-performance textile products for, let's say, personal protection or medical application or things like that. And then very importantly for us, digitalization. We see digitalization as a very, very important driver for sustainability and for competitiveness in this industry. This industry is, let's say, from a digitalization point of view, probably not the most advanced industry, so there's some catch-up we have to do. And if you digitize this industry, you can adopt new business models. For instance, we are very focused on establishing a more on-demand manufacturing paradigm in this industry. As you may know, this industry is currently producing the majority of its products, especially for the clothing and apparel industry, on forecast with long lead times, often in very globalized supply chains, which has a lot of sustainability, negative sustainability impacts, not only in those production countries where the processes may not be very clean and there may be pollution issues or there may be labor issues, but also here in the sense that we produce a lot of products that in the end we find out that nobody wants to buy. So we create a lot of pre-consumer waste, so products that will never be sold and then it needs to be discarded. And that is something that we want to overcome through more on-demand production models. And for that, we know that both digital manufacturing processes, digital technology in the factory, but also digitalization of the supply chain end to end from the lower parts of the supply chain, from the upstream part of the supply chain, all the way to the end consumer, and maybe even involving end of life sorters, recyclers, collectors, to bring them into a digital loop. So you will see once the work programs are published that the first topic we have proposed for the work program 2025 is very much focused on this digitalization and the on-demand local manufacturing of textiles and apparel, and we expect that some interesting projects are being funded under this call. One additional aspect, given the strong the SME heaviness of this industry, we really try to do everything to engage as many SMEs as possible across those projects. So we have decided to adopt for the first topic for 2025 also a cascade funding model, so a financial support to third-party element that has to be built into these projects so that we can reach a larger number of SMEs directly engaged in those projects, because our industry is so SME heavy, and we want to make sure that the European textile SMEs really benefit from this program, so that we're not focusing on large scale, let's say, research-heavy projects, which with low TRL levels, which will have basically no near-term impact on the competitiveness of this industry. This is certainly something valuable to do in the end, but it's not something that our partnership will be focusing on. So in terms of the next steps, as Cornelia has mentioned, the MOU has been adopted. It's in the last stage of the signature. We're also working with Cluster 4 and also in collaboration with some of the other partnerships on the preparation of the 26 and 27 work program topics. You can find information about our Textiles of the Future on our webpage. And then what we will do, and that is something that we have been doing already for many, many years, is we work with our stakeholders in the platform to support them in their work to successfully prepare projects, proposals for both the topics of the partnership, but also any other topics that are textile related under all clusters and activities of Horizon Europe. As I mentioned, Cluster 6 has been funding research, especially on circularity and bio-based materials. Also, the Circular Bio-Based Europe joint undertaking is regularly funding research related to bio-based fibers and bioprocesses. So we work very closely also with Cluster 6 and with some of these related partnerships to make sure that all opportunities for textile research are well exploited, are well used by the textile research and innovation community in Europe. And with this, I think I come to the end of my presentation. Slides stop moving, which is not great. Well, there was a last slide that I wanted to, oops, yes, here it is. So for people who are interested to get to learn more about the textile technology platform, we have our annual conference. The next one is just a month away, which we organize in Spain, in Alcoy, near Alicante, at the site of the Spanish Textile Research Center, ITEX. Focused on research and technologies to enable eco-design of textile products. And of course, our partnership will be in the focus of that event as well. So in case somebody is interested and not yet signed up, places are still available. You can scan the code and you get all the information. And with this, I'm finished with my presentation. So if you want to reach out to me, you have all the contact details, and happy to answer any questions you may have. And back over to the chair.
Lutz, thank you very much for this nice presentation, and also for this kind invitation to Alicante. So invite our participants to join the event. One question, because you have indicated that March memorandum of understanding should be signed. It was done already or not?
Well, it was adopted by the European Commission and it's currently in the signature process. So it's, from what I know, is it has been signed from the private sector side. I think the final European Commission signature is not yet under the document, but that's going to happen in the next days.
Okay. Anyway, it's already adopted.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. And let's follow our agenda. So invite Professor Grabowska to talk to us about Polish textile community, and also what is the view of collaboration between the Polish community and the European one in the context of textile partnership. So, Professor Grabowska, please.
Thank you. Will you switch on video? Because
you are switched off.
Close my video. Yes. Thank you.
Sorry, I will try.
Okay.
Okay.
Udostępnij.
I don't know. I can. Oh, you can see you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice. Please, the floor is yours.
Have you seen my presentation? Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you. So welcome. My name is Katarzyna Grabowska, and I am the Dean of Textile Faculty in Lodz University of Technology. According to the topic of this conference, this means this webinar, this is very important to characterize those stakeholders from Poland. And at the beginning, it is necessary to say that the strategic of research, science, and innovation and cooperation with industry is very strong inscribed into political context. This means, as you know, we have the war beyond the eastern border of Poland, and absolutely lack of cooperation and contact with Russia, and very strong, we gave huge support for people from Ukraine. But Poland is still considered as a strong player in the European textile ecosystem. Poland ranks among, muszę tu przełączyć, Poland ranks among the top 5 producers of textile and clothing in the European Union. This position is supported by both the scale of industrial output and growing focus on innovation. The sector includes over 20,000 companies, the vast majority of which are small and medium-sized enterprises. This structure creates a highly dynamic and flexible industry capable of responding quickly to market trends and technological changes. Poland is also home to key innovation and research hubs. Lodz is national leader in textile R&D with institutions like Lodz University of Technology and other textiles. Poland exports performance is also very strong. The country is among the top global exporters of clothing and textiles and is increasingly involved in high-value sustainable production. Finally, we are witnessing a growing innovation potential in Polish textile industry, especially around green transition, digitalization, and circular economy strategies, all of which are fully aligned with the goals of new European partnership. This slide outlines the key challenges that Polish stakeholders face in the textile and clothing sector, and which the new European partnership can help us address. First, there is a clear digitalization and automation gap. Many Polish companies, especially SMEs, have not yet implemented Industry 4.0 technologies. This limits their ability to optimize production, trace materials, and implement data-driven innovation. Secondly, access to the R&D funding remains also very limited. Although European Union funds are available, many SMEs struggle with administrative barriers, lack of dedicated personnel, or simply low awareness of opportunities in Horizon Europe and other programs. The third issue is competence gap. There is a growing need for professionals skilled in artificial intelligence, data science, eco-design, and circular economy strategies. Another important factor is the fragmented structure of the industry. This sector is dominated by small and micro enterprises, which limits the ability to scale, form competitive consortia, or invest in long-term innovation strategies. Finally, there is a low awareness of upcoming European regulations, such as the Digital Product Passport, the Eco-Design for Sustainable Products Regulation, and Life Cycle Assessment requirements. These will soon be mandatory, and many companies are not yet prepared. The slide about the opportunity. The European Partnership, Textiles of the Future, offers many opportunities for Polish stakeholders, in particular for higher education institutions and research institutes operating in the textile sector. Lodz University of Technology, as one of the leading academic and research centers, sees great potential in this partnership, both in terms of funding for research and innovation, as well as strengthening international cooperation and activating the SME sector. Thanks to our existing experience, including as coordinators of the AI Design Text and SaaS Design Text projects, we are very well prepared to contribute to the activities of the new partnership. Moreover, although these are widening projects, we aim to demonstrate that universities from Central and Eastern Europe can successfully take an active leadership roles. This partnership is a real opportunity to co-create the future of the European textile sector, ensuring that countries like Poland have a strong voice and presence in shaping this future. Good practice and some examples. Nie chce mi wejść. Sorry, one moment. Yes, okay. No, okay, that's right. The Faculty of Material Technologies and Textile Design of Łódź University of Technology strives to play a strategic role in building international cooperation in the textile field. This commitment is clearly reflected in our coordination of two major Horizon projects. This means NI Design Text and SAS Design Text. We are open and strongly engaged in developing new European initiatives. We are not afraid to invite new partners, build diverse consortia, and expand our cooperation. With every project, we meet new institutions, we meet new people, exchange knowledge, and often continue with new joint proposals. Our journey began with widening projects, which opened doors for long-term collaboration. Today, we coordinate two such initiatives, and they are already generating results beyond their original scope. In SAS Design Text, we have expanded our network and succeed in securing two additional grants funded by Swedish Institute, in which Łódź University of Technology is the project partner. These are Microplast Guard. This means mitigation microplastic pollution through advanced Baltic cooperation, and B2B Baltic Hemp to Biochar, harnessing industrial hemp waste for sustainable textile and carbon sequestration. Similarly, AI Design Text launched in October 2024. We are planning to submit two more grant applications, expanding the existing partnership. Our faculty is now actively focusing on innovations aligned with the circular economy, including the design of sustainable textile structures, the development of tools like life cycle assessment. At the same time, we place a strong emphasis on integrating education, industry, and science by aligning our curricula with the real market needs, supporting lifelong learning, and co-creating knowledge with industrial stakeholders. Through this comprehensive and open approach, Łódź University of Technology is not only coordinating projects, we are also creating the future of the European textile innovation ecosystem. So at the end, I would like to invite you to connect with us and create the future of sustainable and innovation textile. If you are interested in building international partnerships and developing circular and digital textile solutions, we are open to collaborate with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Grabowska, for this comprehensive presentation of the community, of your capacities. And also, I believe you will also develop your activities towards
I hope also, so I hope to
regular projects also under this partnership, even if the offer in a present work program and next work program is relatively limited, only one topic in each of these developments. But I suppose you will go further. Moreover, let me remain here, but in Łódź, Łódź region is implemented the project Frontship that is aiming at making this region first circular region in Europe. So, and it's with the contribution of European Commission at the level of 15 or 16 million euros. So, suppose your university contributes to this project strongly.
Yes, we have very well contact with the national contact points. So with the pleasure, I participate in such a meeting.
Okay. Thank you very much again. Let's wait for questions to you. And just now, let's turn to our last but not least presentation. Braz, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So I hope you can see now my presentation. Help me.
Still, I can't see, but I see that you started. Okay, it works just now.
That's okay. So thank you very much for the invitation to be present in this webinar. Yeah, this partnership is really important in the Portuguese context. Let's see, first of all, sorry. Okay, some words about CITEV. CITEV is the Technological Center for Textiles and Clothing Industries in Portugal, but inside a group of research and development institutions, we have CENTI as well. CENTI is the Center for Nanotechnology and Advanced Materials, and the company oriented to the certification of textiles and garment. We are responsible for the textile cluster in Portugal governance, and we have as well a school, CITEV Academia. Okay, some figures about our activity. Last year turnover was is mentioned 23, but the figures are related to 24. 15 million euros turnover and 8 million euros investment in new technological infrastructures in our institute. So you have some of our capacities in terms of labs and as well pilot plants addressing all the supply chain and addressing as well a range of services available to the industry. So the Portuguese context. Portugal is really a textile country, and this country is resisting to some aggressions from our competitors since ever. In any case, it was possible in the last years to have a very nice evolution in terms of exports as well. I love this index, the turnover and the GVA per employee, and the evolution is really amazing in last years. These figures could be reachable transforming the industry in trade organizations, but this is not the case. So Portugal is still industrial. The difference between turnover and production is very, very narrow, about 200 million euros. So we can say that Portugal is still industrial in terms of textile and clothing. What is unique? Portugal has a complete cluster. We have, I can say, all kinds of processes addressing fashion, of course, but also functional garments and technical textiles. The importance of this industry in Portugal is very high in terms of employment, of course, but also in terms of exports. We exported last year more than 6,000 million euros. And what is very important in last years, the capacity to compete was, in my mind, based on the big investments addressing a sustainable growth of our production. Maybe this is the more important evolution in our sector in the last decade, the investment in terms of sustainability of the production. Okay, so the expectations, you asked me to see what are the expectations about this partnership. I can say that the primary expectation we have in Portugal is this partnership help to solve the bottlenecks. We have lots of bottlenecks to solve in the next years, and maybe some of the bottlenecks we don't know yet. In terms of sustainability, we have a technology gap yet. We speak about circular economy, about recycling, but that we need more and more technology to achieve the objectives in terms of circularity. No technologies are really available at this moment to solve the accumulation of textile waste in all countries in Europe and in the world. And secondly, for sustainability purpose, regulation tuning is urgent. It's not possible to maintain industry expecting the real rules, standards, and so on in order to make their investments. The situation now is a little bit confused, and we need more clear regulation on the sustainability area for textiles and clothing. Secondly, digitalization. We expect this partnership can help to understand that digitalization for textile and clothing supply chain is not a generic, even advanced, but generic technology use. So it is compulsory to have initiatives to use, of course, the tools, the technological tools, namely artificial intelligence and other technologies, but in the right way to be used by the sector. And third, the value chains refoundation. We are losing our position worldwide in terms of center of the business models and branding and distribution initiatives. Why? Because new approaches, new business models are raising, very successful, and most part of these new business models are not in Europe. So it's time to think about it and to use the available tools, the available incentives to refound the European capacity to be the center of the fashion industry in the world, the center of the textile technology and business in the world. So these are the main expectations we have in Portugal. But we have some concerns as well. The first one is we never know what's next. International commercial context is generating some concerns, and I'm afraid Europe have to change a little bit the strategy to balance again the commercial relationship between Europe and other economical blocs in the world. And we are concerned about these changes because they can put in perspective the investments Portugal made in the last years to be more sustainable. Second, we have insufficient activation energy to sustainability become economically sustainable. It's a pity, it's a very sad situation when very nice companies, very nice industrial and commercial initiatives in Europe start very nice business models addressing sustainability, but at the end of the day, they don't have capacity to go forward by economical reasons. So I think, or we are concerned about the energy. We need to jump from the former organization of business to the new one based on sustainability. And finally, we are concerned about the cascade effect in the industry, because we have big and small and medium-sized companies with different capacity to profit from these programs, and as well some big difference between the highly innovative companies and low innovation-based companies. And we are concerned about the capacity we have to take all the companies and all the systems in Europe going forward. But in Portugal, we are excited. We are excited because we believe on the new order, the sustainability base for our sector, and very, very hopeful. The European laws, the European initiatives addressing sustainability on fashion industry, not only fashion, but mainly for fashion industry, are very, very interesting to grant us our competitiveness in the world context. So we are excited with these results, and at the same time we are hopeful because we trust on the implementation of this partnership. ETP is the right entity to bridge companies, RTOs, and policymakers. So this tool is very, very welcome and is in the right hands to produce the right results in order to support this industry to be more innovative, to be more sustainable, and at the end of the day, to be more competitive in the very difficult and uncertain contexts worldwide. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for this presentation of your capacities, as well as, in fact, very important concerns. And now let's turn to question and answer session. Most of answers were done in written to our participants, but we can some of them read and answer. And of course, still we have 15 minutes for a Q&A session, so do not hesitate and ask question. Still ask question. We'll try to manage it, to present. Okay, but because just now we ask concern open questions, I can't see any important that can be addressed. But let's turn back to those who are answered in the in written. So as concern the question, it was answered by Lutz. Maybe you can repeat it to all participants. Question was, would the partnership be open for defense sector producing textiles? Lutz, can you? And
the answer is yes. We consider all textile products, whether apparel, fashion, or functional textiles. So as long as we are talking about textile products, that's why I specified. If we're talking about composite materials, composite structure, and so on, that we do not consider that as within the scope of our partnership. There's the innovative materials for Europe partnership that I think covers these areas as quite well. So, but as long as they are textiles, both technical and let's say conventional fashion applications are possible.
But here is also the question for defense sector. Keep in mind that Horizon Europe is a civil program.
Of course,
it's not for defense. That's why, of course, say textiles for dual use one can say are allowed, but not addressed directly to defense, because exactly these are not this manner. As concerned also, it was a question concerning Norway. Norway is an associated country, so it's allowed to enter with us, say, full rights as concerned participating in Horizon projects, unless the topic is restricted to some limitations. It's written exactly in the description of the topics, Article 22.5 of Horizon Europe regulation there can be used, and in some topics it's limited, but it's not the case of textile partnership. For raw materials, for instance, there are some limitations as concerned even associated countries. Cornelia, you would like to say something just now? No.
No, just to confirm that we did not set, at least for 2025, any specific limitations in relation to associated countries for the call topic, and also to mention that we have the European Defence Fund, which is specifically for the defense sector, providing funding opportunities as well.
Okay, thank you for these answers. I'm reviewing the next questions. Okay, the question for presentation. Okay, it was also answered by you, Lutz, concerning the possibility to enter the association. Means, what does it mean, associate member, and also I've seen non-profits.
Yeah, I can probably address both questions together in a way. Yes, so obviously the ETP, Textile ETP is a stakeholder organization. So we welcome any stakeholder organization that has a professional link to the textile sector. We have in principle 3 membership levels. We have full membership, which is reserved only to collective organizations on the European level. So such as a collective textile industry association or collective textile research associations, like some of those that I represented or that I explained. So whereas for individual organizations, for individual companies and so on, the associate member level is normally the one that we recommend, because it gives you basically access to all the networking and EU funding related services. We have still a lower level that we call networking member, which is usually more oriented towards individual experts or people or very small organizations where there's only one person who would follow our activities. So both of these are available on our website. You can see the details of what is included. So and we welcome also different stakeholders, whether they are profit or non-profit. They're all welcome.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And here we have also very important, I think, question concerning the contribution of private sector to the partnership. So really it's to you, Lutz, and to you, Cornelia, to clarify exactly how it is expected to provide this contribution to the partnership by the private sector. So please.
Yes, Cornelia, you want to start? You want me to start?
Yeah, I can start. So I think depends as well on the type of action for that specific goal, if it's a research and innovation action or an innovation action. So this you need to check in the call, because then the normal rules of for financing will apply there. And then we also have, as was mentioned, and maybe the rules we can emphasize more the part of third-party financial support, which is specifically which will be specifically underlined in the 2025 call.
There was a little bit of a weird sound. I don't know, Cornelia, if it was on your side.
I was saying that maybe you can emphasize a bit the part on third-party financial support. Yes.
Sorry, Cornelia, we have a problem with the audio from your side. Means it's a lot of something with noise.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I repeat. I mean, I could hear it, but there was a lot of sort of noise in the background somehow. Yes, so indeed, we obviously there is a co-financing related to the funding instrument used. In the first call, we have the innovation action, so there is a co-funding element for private sector participants. We also expect those participants in the cascade funding in the funding for third parties to make a contribution in addition to the funding that they receive, and that is something that that should be also valorized. And then there will be ongoing sort of accompanying investments that are made by organizations, by sometimes national or regional clusters that would sort of complement the activities that we defined in our strategic research agenda. So it's a mixed contribution in, I think, a similar way as other partnerships as well.
Okay, now we have still some questions. Okay, the question from Mr. Kung. Does the partnership program cover new digital manufacturing technologies for optimal clothing fit based on different textile materials? You can answer.
Let me quickly see the
new digital manufacturing technologies for optimal clothing.
Yes. That I believe this is something that would be quite relevant, specifically even for the first call. Yes.
Yeah. Next question is: other interactions between this initiative and the world of standardization for digital information related to textile?
Yes, Pierre, well, I see where the question comes from. I don't think there are currently no formal. We don't have any formal relationship to standardization initiatives or organizations, but I think it's something that is usually seen favorably in areas where standardization plays an important role. And I think in digitalization there is a need for standardization as regards digitalization of textile materials, of textile processes, and so on. So I think it's a plus if it's included in project proposals, I suppose. But there is no formal interaction or no formal requirement that we foresee.
Okay. Also, next question, I think is also to you, Lutz. A question from Netherlands about if a company that is focusing on chemical recycling of textiles would that be welcome in the partnership?
Well, I mean, as I say, any company that is or organization that is related to the textile sector in the professional way is welcome in the partnership, in the sense of in the private sector organization in the textile ETP. Whether we will have projects that are specifically dedicated to textile recycling from a technical point of view, or whether that is something that will continue to be funded, for instance, under Cluster 6, that we will have to see. There have been significant projects under covering textile recycling from a real process point of view under Cluster 6 in recent years. And I think also in 25, 26, there may be new funding opportunities there.
Okay. Lutz, thank you very much. I think it clarified the issue. And just now, any more questions, because we can't see any new question in our chat. So if there is no more question, wait for the last one now. Okay, I think we are ready to conclude the webinar. So thank you very much to our panelists. Thank you, Diego, for providing insight on our activities. And once again, welcome all of you to first of all, to the partnership. Be aware that we are at the last stage, at the stage of approval of Work Program 25 for Horizon Europe, where the topic for textile partnership is included. And soon It will be published, I hope, in next days, even days, not weeks. What else? So next regular procedure, the deadline for this topic will be 23rd of September this year. Welcome to our brokering activities. Diego has indicated 3 such actions that is prepared. Also, Lutz has presented the opportunity for networking during the textile conference next to Alicante, so in mid-May. So you are welcome. What else? Also, because we are dealing also with other sectors, and maybe it's also interesting for you, keep in mind that on 27 or 28th of May, I don't remember exactly, correct me, Diego, if I'm wrong, 27, if I could remember, we are inviting you to the webinar on I'm for EU, very nice name, I'm for EU partnership that stands for Innovative Materials for Europe. So thank you very much and have a nice day. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.